Scoreholio organizers, this is Ben with Scoreholio. I'm going to show you our newest game format. It is called a set schedule with the Switcholio team generation, which means that we're going to be able to create an entire schedule for you. And in that schedule, each player is going to go ahead and play with every other player one time and play against every other player two times if you run a full round robin. Now, you can limit your rounds, or you can even go more rounds than a full round robin, and we'll get a little bit more into that as we go through the tutorial. On the right-hand side, I have my phone. That's typically what I bring to run a tournament, but you're always welcome to bring a laptop, and that's what I have on the left-hand side. But we'll go ahead and go through both of them as if we're using it. As always, if you ever go up to run a tournament in the docs and facts, you can get to our or the yellow button on the phone. It'll go to our doc section. We do have how to run a set schedule switcholio right here on the left, and you can use the search as always. So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to go to run a tournament. I'm going to go ahead and get into it by going to run a tournament, and then I'm going to go to pickleball, which is what I'm running this tournament as. As you can see, I already have the tournament made, and if I go to run a tournament on my phone, it's going to be there as well. So let's go ahead and show you what my parameters were for this. I got the event name, I got the date and time it's playing. I'm doing this at the Paseo Club. I have mine on private, but if it's open to the public, keep it open. Player scoring, you can go ahead and do yes if you want people to play a score from their phone. I personally love that. It does take the competitive level. And this is where the magic happens. So format is set schedule. Team generation is Switcholio. Now, me personally, if I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and use pre-registration, and I'm going to limit my max spots. And the reason for that is that you do have to have a multiple of 4 players to run this format. So it would have to be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, or 32. And 32 is the max that you can actually have for this format. So let's go ahead and say that I'm going to run a 12 player like my title says. I'm going to go ahead and max out with 12 as my pre-registration. That way I can always go ahead and I can send out this link here to, a bunch to 11 of my friends if I'm playing in it, and I could copy this link and text it to them and tell them to pre-register for this tournament and go ahead and get into it. Now, on my right-hand side, I'm going to go ahead and click on the tournament over here as well. I'm going to use this check-in. This is where you would actually get the camera and be able to scan in a QR code, or you can manually enter somebody's name. Let's say that I'm going to put Rob in here, right? And I'm going to show you how cool this is. Let's say that I am in my admin. As always with Scoreholio, everything that you do on a phone or a computer goes to each one, vice versa. So if you watch, I'm going to go ahead and add Rob into this game, and it automatically comes up over here. If I did scan somebody, it would kind of look like this. This is how you add yourself if you're ever an organizer. So I go ahead and I'm logged in under my player profile. So it brings up my player profile and I add myself to this game. And as you can see, it comes right over as usual. So I'm going to go ahead and get over. Oh, you saw that I got an alert as well. That's what happens. Everybody will get push alerts. But I'm going to go into the admin here, so that way it kind of mirrors here. Now, if I have other people that have played in my tournaments before, I can always go ahead and add them to my tournament here by going to add existing players. This is my old recruiting company email. I'm going to go ahead and put myself in there. And let's just say we want to add a bunch of other people. Sally, Terry, Sherry, Bella, Brooklyn, Nick, James, Kylie, and Phil. And now we have our 12 players. So it gets really easy from here. You get everybody in. If I misspelled James, I can always click on the team name and always fix that or delete that person if you need to and add another person. Now, if they're in pre-registration, they would look something like this. And you would go ahead and either use the self check-in button if you have Pro, which sends out an alert and they can automatically check themselves in, or I can always go ahead and check in the team this way by clicking on them there. Or if they are in pre-registration and we're over on our app and we do the check-in, you can always pre-register and check somebody in from there. And when I confirm that, you'll see that it moves them over there. So those are all ways that you could go ahead and check everybody into your tournament. And now that we got everybody into the tournament, and you'll see that it matches on my phone as it does on my computer, I'm going to go ahead and click the set up the schedule. Now, optimize schedule is not going to put the time and the court that the players are going to be on. It's just going to build out the entire schedule. And what happens is the system was going to go ahead and put in the right, if all four are available, it'll put them on the court. If you do a time-based schedule, it will give them the court that they're going to play on and what time. There is a little caveat though, if Ben takes a little long or he finishes early on one court, he could end up being on two courts at the same time. You would just have them finish on the court that they're on and then go play on the other one. We try to be as efficient as possible, so we fill the court as soon as it's available, so people can get a little confused that they're on two courts. I personally love the optimized schedule. That's what I stick with, but time-based is also very good. Now, in this tournament, I have 3 courts, and because I'm running 12 teams, if you run the exact amount of courts per round, our system will actually go round by round for you. So if you do time-based or optimized, everybody will finish round 1, and then as soon as every court is empty, it will refill the next courts. So you can actually max out your courts if you have that many courts to do. So it's great if you have 8 players, 2 courts, you can put them all out there and they will go round by round and put everybody out there. So for this one, I'm going to do a full round robin. So I'm going to go ahead and do 11 and only do 1 week because we're just going to finish today. That's a lot of games, but hey, whatever we want to do. You can also just do as many weeks if you want to make this a league and you want to say, hey, we're going to play 4 weeks and every night we're going to do 4 rounds. That's also a possibility. For this example, I'm just going to go ahead and do a full round robin, and I'm going to go ahead and click create the schedule. Now you're going to see it's going to go ahead and create the schedule, and when it does, it's going to go ahead and update it over here as well. We do have a 9-second delay on this, so make sure that you take that 9 seconds to relax and enjoy the magic of Scoreholio because that makes everything easy peasy for you. But I'm going to go ahead and click this refresh button a couple times. You're going to see that it's going to get everybody into a schedule here. Now, this is only a 1-week schedule, so there's not multiple weeks. If you ever have to edit anything, you can always click on a bunch and click this edit button to mass edit things. But really, if you're just going out there to play, don't worry about any of that stuff. Like, let's look at Sherry, for instance, right? If we look at Sherry here in the search bar, she's going to have 11 games just like everybody else. And if we do Control F and we look at how many times does Sherry play with Terry, Sherry's going to play with Terry once and play against Terry twice. And that's how the entire full round robin works, is that it's going to put you with somebody at least one time and against somebody twice. So how do we start playing this game? It's pretty simple. You can always go to the round robin tab here on your phone, or if you're over here, you can go to the round robin tab here. You're going to use this set active schedule, and I'm going to bring in week 1 because that's all we have. And we're going to bring week 1 games into here. And it's going to go ahead and do it over here as well. Let me see. I might need to refresh here. Let's see. And we will go ahead. Well, let's see what happens once we click advanced game. And now we have all the courts on here. And I can go ahead and, oh, look at this. I got an alert that I'm up. So Ben is up on court 3, and that's the alerts that your players are going to get. I'm going to go ahead and get back into this admin. It'll go to that round robin tab. And because, like I said, we have the perfect amount of courts here, if I go ahead and, let's say that this one's 11 to 3, and obviously you would I would suggest using player scoring, or, if you have tablets or if you have, kiosk mode, that's the best way, in my opinion, to go ahead and score these games. But you can score it however you want. Let's say this one's 11 to 3. We're going to click submit. And that's going to take them off. So notice how it did not fill the court immediately. That's because we have all 3. The system's going to wait until round 1 is done. And once round 1 is done and we submit the last one, it's going to go ahead and fill all the courts for round 2. Now, I can always click this dashboard button here, and that'll give us the dashboard, show everybody on the screen, the full leaderboard over here, everybody that's coming up. If I'm on my phone, as a player, I can always go to find a tournament, and we're going to go ahead and use that while doing Scoreholio. This is a little secret. We're about to launch this soon, but I'll go to what it looks like now. And if you look, I'm in this 12-player Switcholio. I go to the dashboard here. And if I look, I think I'm up on court 2. I am. I can go ahead and live score this match by clicking on the court that I'm on. And as I enter this up, you'll see that it actually updates over here on the dashboard. And if I was looking at the admin, it would update here. And if I go up to 11 to 4 because I'm amazing and of course I'm going to win this. Or wait, I guess I'm on both courts because I signed in with both my accounts, my test account and my real one. So now you'll notice that it took that game off the court because I used the player scoring. If I hit the go back, I'm going to go ahead and see it. So this is what all your players would see, and that is how they go ahead and enter their scores in. They could see their entire schedule. If they want to see themselves, they could type in their name. Obviously, I have two, but that's fine. And then on the standings, it'll show everybody where they're at and how they're doing with the game log on the bottom. But that's it. You're going to go ahead and run through. You can see every game that's coming, and it'll just keep on going. If you ever have to rename your courts, you can always go to manage courts here or up here in the top and go to manage courts. And if you needed to change the court numbers here or turn off warm up timers, if you don't like those warm up timers, you can do them here and add player scoring. You can always save everything there. But that's pretty much it. This is the newest and coolest, in my opinion, format. I think it's going to be a lot of fun out there, especially if you're in the backyard playing. You got a couple eight buddies that show up and you're going to be playing some ping pong or something like that. Whip out the Switcholio set schedule, get it set, and let the system do everything for you from there and on out. My name is Ben. I'm with Scoreholio. Remember, it's easy peasy.